So we're back. Um, Hopefully this is working out. Not with my main microphone. I think I found a setting. I had been trying to sort of, what's the word? MacGyver it. Um, because there's like a way I could force it to use the voice isolation setting, but it wouldn't stick. Um, so I think I finally found a global sort of setting. So hopefully that's working. Uh, I believe this is where we left off. It's been quite some time. Um, so from what I remember, there's sort of a overarching theme. I called it. I did not actually look up a book series that they lifted this from. Um, Maybe if it's compelling enough tonight, the material, uh, I might finally do that. So it's sort of left you with you wake up, you're not where you camped for the night, and um, and there's mist. And if you try and go out of the mist, well, I mean, there's also elements that telegraph this. But if you go into the mist, you basically will get lost and die. Um, so don't go into the mist. Um, and so it kind of left us, I believe, in the kind of actual beginning of this sort of manner. The foyer, which has already been described, is empty except for the characters and their pack animals. Party members may enter the chateau proper, but the animals will balk at entering the front hall, and if forced through the doors will continue to struggle and run away at the first chance they get. The hall is dark, as are all the rooms, unless noted otherwise. The gray mist blocks sunlight from every direction except directly above. Grand Salon. This room is luxuriously furnished with plush chairs, polished wood tables, ornate rugs, and other fine furniture. The furniture has been pushed back against the walls, and the carpets have been rolled up in the middle of the floor. An impromptu boxing ring has been set up. In one corner of the ring a man stands as still as a statue, with his hands raised in the boxing guard position. This man is wearing amber silk trunks. You notice that his skin has an unreal quality. Seated near the boxer is a man dressed in colorful silks, fancy lace, and rich velvets. He also wears a large brimmed hat, flaunting a peacock's feather. A jeweled rapier is slung on his right side on a supple leather baldric. He has wavy black hair and a closely trimmed beard which comes to a point. Two men in plate mail carrying halberds stand as guards on either side of the richly dressed man. The guard's flesh has the same unreal quality as the boxer's. The seated man's flesh does not have this quality. All the chairs have been pushed back. They all face forward toward the boxing ring. Floating above the center of each chair is a pair of red, unblinking eyes that turn to watch you. The boxer is a Deimos Magen, a being created by special enchantments. So it looks like it is a monster unique to this adventure. This Magin, or magical man, is one of the Amber family's creations, especially trained to fight with its fists. The two halberd-wearing guards are also Damus Magin. Richly dressed man is Jean-Louis Amber. Beneath his rich clothing, he wears chainmail +2. His rapier, so I guess in this edition they don't have rapiers, which is very curious because they have so very many obscure early weapons in these early editions. When he gives the command fight, the boxer will commence boxing. When he gives the command kill, all three Magin will attack the party. When he gives the command stop, all three Magin will stop fighting. Jean-Louis is the only individual the Magin will obey. Jean-Louis is the trainer and manager for the Magin boxer. As soon as the party enters, he will try to set up a bare-knuckle boxing match between his Magin and whatever champion the party may choose from amongst their members. He offers even odds, which can be raised or lowered at your discretion, depending on how even you see the match being. And he will cover up to 10,000 gold in bets. The bets must be made from cash in hand. Jean-Louis will extend no credit. The party need not feel obligated to accept the boxing match. They may refuse and leave the room at no penalty. Should they decide to accept the match, it will be 5 boxing rounds long. The challenger can neither wear armor nor use any weapons. The challenger may prepare for the match using whatever magic Fairtrade thinks may be helpful. Boxing round is defined as 1 minute of combat or 6 normal combat rounds. At the beginning of each round, the party may throw in the towel to save their champion from taking further damage. The challenger automatically loses. When boxing, normal combat procedures follow, but characters cause only 1 to 2 points of damage plus their bonuses. The Magin does 1 to 3 points of damage. If the challenger lasts 2 rounds, Jean-Louis will reward the party an additional 1 gold above and beyond any side bets. If the challenger lasts 3 rounds, Jean-Louis will give the party an additional 10 gold for 4 rounds, 100. If the challenger should last all 5 rounds, Jean-Louis will reward the party with 1,000 gold. If the challenger wins, Jean-Louis will pay 10,000 gold. The rewards are not cumulative. Jean-Louis will pay only the highest amount the challenger has earned. The challenger can win several ways. If either combatant is reduced to 0 hit points, he dies. Anytime a combatant strikes for the maximum amount of damage possible, there is a 5% chance he will knock his opponent out. The losing combatant passes out, regaining consciousness in 1 to 10 rounds. A combatant can also win by decision. Total the damage that each combatant can does in each of the 5 boxing rounds. The combatant who caused the most damage each round wins the round. In the case of a tie, Imagine wins the round. Whichever combatant wins the most boxing rounds is the winner, even if there's no knockout or kill. The eyes floating over each chair belong to other members of the Amber family, who have cast Wizard Eye and Phantasmal Force spells in order to watch the match. Jean-Louis had 20,000 GP in an locked iron chest set into the floor. The party may win some or all of the money from him, or they may attempt to attack him and take it. The rest of the Amber family will not interfere if he is attacked, even if he is killed. So it looks like we should be able to get to the next section. The room is paneled in polished mahogany. A large fireplace, faced with marble, is set in the south wall. Whatever furniture was once in this room has been removed, except for an iron-bound wooden chest in the southeastern corner. Lying around the fireplace are a dozen or so bedrolls. Near the bedrolls are a dozen humanoids with cat-like faces dressed in leather armor. Cat beings are Rakasta. They wear iron claws over their paws and attack with 2 claws and a bite. Another monster seemingly unique to this. So I imagine both from the previous room and these creatures are probably lifted from the novels. The Rakasta, with the permission of the Amber family, have turned the study into a lair. In the far corner of the room is a wooden chest that holds their treasure. 6,000 GP, 2,000 PP, and a large ornate silver key worth 500 GP that can be used to open the silver gate to Avignon in the dungeon. Upon entering, you see a dining room in an advanced state of decay. After a short time, 12 men and 12 women in costly garb walk into the room through the solid south wall and proceed to sit down around the table. Soon as the guests enter, the appearance of the dining room miraculously changes so it seems undecayed. If you concentrate hard enough, you can still see the original decayed scene beneath the fresh double images. The 24 banquet guests are fairly transparent. 17 of these guests are human, 3 are elves, 2 are dwarves, and 2 are halflings. Besides the 24 chairs already filled are a dozen empty chairs, with diningware and utensils set before them. In front of several of the empty chairs are place cards with the names of the party members. The ghost-like figures have no physical substance and cannot be touched or dispelled. Any object striking one passes through as if nothing was there. The figures will not seem to notice or communicate with the characters. Each player character has one full turn to decide whether to sit down at the banquet table. After one turn, all empty chairs, place cards, and table settings where a character has not been seated will disappear. Once everyone who wishes to be seated is seated, the double doors at the head of a double flight of stairs in the north wall will open, and ghostly servants will begin to bring in the dinner, course by course. Servants are also transparent, as is the food. They bring to all the ghostly guests, except to the characters. The food given to the characters seems perfectly normal to all senses. First course is onion soup with croutons and melted cheese, plus a mellow amber wine. The second consists of tossed salad. The third course, the main course, is roast beef, wheat bread, mushrooms and wine sauce, green beans, and a red wine. The final course consists of apple strudel and brandy. Characters seated at the banquet may eat any, all, or none of the foods. Most of the foods are magical. To gain or suffer the magical effects, all of the type of food must be eaten. Characters must all declare whether or not they have eaten a particular food before they find out what that food's effects are. A type of food will only affect a character once. The various effects of the foods are onion soup. Save versus spells. If the save is made, nothing happens. If it is not made, the character gains 1 to 4 hit points permanently. Amber wine. This wine will cure any disease or blindness, neutralizes poison currently in the character's system, and restores any lost hit points. If none of this applies, nothing happens. Tossed salad seems very appropriate. One of the character's abilities, picked at random, gains 1 to 2 points, and one ability loses 1 to 2 points. This may affect the same ability. No score can be raised above 18 or lowered below 3. Roast beef. This is not magical, but it is tender, tasty, and pink in the center. Wheat bread. Save versus spells. If the save is made, the character becomes immune to the effects of starvation. If the save is unsuccessful, the character will forever need twice the normal amount of nourishment. Green beans are not magical. Mushrooms in wine sauce. Save versus poison. If the save is made, the character gains +4 on all future saves versus poison. If it is not successful, the character dies of cold steel poisoning. Really? Well, I'm technically, I think this is the second, but the first is telegraphed pretty hard. Um, so I'm not going to count that. This is, I believe, but yes, this is like, uh, it's like a fairly brutal instant death effect there. Um, red wine. This wine causes magical drunkenness for 2 to 12 turns, as opposed to normal drunk. Apple strudel. Save versus spells. If the save is failed, the character gains the ability to ESP once per week. If the save is made, nothing happens. Brandy. Save versus death ray. I believe that has come up. maybe in the other classic adventure we looked at. Um, but yeah, I don't really know how that's different. If the save is failed, the character becomes insubstantial and joins the ghostly feast forever as an additional transparent guest. If the save is made, nothing happens. So I think we will end here. Now it's pretty short, um, but hopefully, um, when I check the VOD, we can see if changing that setting improved the quality at all. Um, Next stream should be tomorrow. We'll be back to Art of Fantasy. Um, yeah, that'll wrap things up here.